What's up, everybody? Circus here, coming at you with a discussion video with PDS here. This is really inspired by PDS, so I thought it'd be perfect for him to be here. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you
Now,
doing?
if you pay attention to our community page, like I know a lot of you do, every day I like to put up a poll and ask you guys a question and see how you feel about certain topics. And PDS was like, hey, you should put up one that asks, does Cyber Dragons need to be nerfed? Now, why did you want to ask the community that?
So, as if some of you guys don't keep up with the competitive, scene, Cyber Dragons did just take our Battle Phase Thursday, the Meta Freakly, and Battle Phase Friday all back to back. So they've won three in a row, and they are nowhere to be seen on the tier list, not even as a tier 3 spot.
Okay. Now, real
So,
quick, 63% of the people said no, 37% said yes.
yes.
So a lot of people saying the deck is just fine the way it is. So
Yes,
what?
and then
So it wins three tournaments. So you're thinking what?
I'm thinking the deck is pretty good. And then don't forget, KC Cup results. What won the
Hmm.
KC Cup or the KCGT? It was Cyber Dragons that won that. So
Oh, was it really? Okay.
yeah, it was Cyber Dragons. So this deck, is it like it's definitely not going under the radar, right? Because people are playing it, but I think people are just kind of underestimating how powerful it is because I've read a lot of things where it's like, oh, it's a glass cannon deck, oh, it's I win and lose against it pretty much, 50-50. Like the right build of this deck, the play style is not the same as before because before you used to have a lot of, the trap card cybernetic overflow. You
Hmm.
could grind a little bit, but this version of the deck, I focuses more on, like the aspect of just like you can save, so for instance, you'll take like 2K and then on the next attack is when you would like activate a card like Drowning Mirror Force or a card like Book of Moon. So you're gonna give yourself, a way to just clear the board and just swing in for like, huge amounts of damage.
I was about to say this deck seems like it's in better shape than it's ever been, and maybe that's just because of the meta, though, right? Because the meta
Right.
is a lot different than it was before. I think the decks now, like we kind of talked about it in the Gaia video, where I don't want to say they're like one trick ponies, but they kind of do one thing really well, and they're not necessarily good at like grinding out very long games, right?
Right. So the other thing about Cyber Dragons is, of course, their skill. Cyber Style.
Hmm.
It's a skill that reminds me a lot of Destiny Draw. And why is that? It's because there is a lot of. It's just an annoying skill. Like you can't really play around it. You have to just eventually play into it, and then that is gonna. You can get punished by cards like Drowning Mirror Force.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, And then, of course, if you don't attack into them, you're going to give them turns to draw into, like their powerful cards like Fusion Gate or, you
Overflow
know,
if they didn't draw it
or
right
yeah,
away,
yeah, the
right?
core. And then the other annoying part of this deck is it just has the three Cosmic Cyclones, which absolutely, if they draw two Cosmics and they have, like any way to fuse, it's over for you. Like you're just going to lose that game. Like
Yeah,
I think,
it's
yeah,
only running three monsters, right? But it's
four,
still
four monsters. Yeah.
three to four monsters, but it's still like super consistent. And is
Yes.
that because of the skill, right?
Yes, it's for sure the skill because you take 2K and then you get two Cyber Dragons, then you can go for the Chimera Tech, pop up to 2 to 3 back row, depending on how much you use to fuse for it. And then if you have the cybernetic fusion support, so basically what it comes down to is, so this is what happens. So you summon core, right? You get fusion support, you activate fusion gate, you make the Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, you pop two back row, and then you get to send two Cyber Dragons. So then you have the original core and two Cyber Dragons. So you can either go for a Cyber Twin or a Cyber End Dragon or another
Hmm.
Chimera Tech Rampage. So you have a lot of options there. And that's usually going to be game because you're going to be swinging like maybe even 5 or 6 times, depending on how many monsters are left in your deck. So,
Hmm. But
this deck, yep,
I was gonna say, isn't this what we want though? A lot of people complaining that the skill is BS. You know, this whole deck is carried by the skill, but That's kind of like I think what Konami has wanted since the beginning of Duel Links, right? Skills
Right.
that make the deck more anime focused or related or whatever. Where this was a very early one that they had to keep changing because people were abusing it for other decks. Remember, if you just wanted to like tribute into something, you'd run Cyber Style, and that way you could play UAs or something like that, right?
Right.
And we're seeing that with decks now where they come out with a deck. Maybe it's not super awesome, but then it's got a super good consistency skill, like we're seeing with Gaia, right? I mean, so isn't this kind of what they want in the game? Why would we want to nerf that?
Right. So the problem is just the play style.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just way too obnoxious in my opinion. And I'm saying this as somebody that actually, I play this deck a lot. So like
Right.
I'm it kind of shocked me today when I saw the poll. I was like, wow, people really don't think this deck needs to be nerfed. Like,
And I want to reiterate that. He plays this deck a lot, guys. That's not even a joke. He plays this deck a lot.
yeah,
Heroes and Cyber Dragons. Those are his mains.
I'm always sending Circus replays of the Cyber Dragon deck. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
So it's fair enough that you can say that it should be nerfed.
Right. So like the other thing is that, the previous nerf that happened, what happened? They had the overflow and the fusion support cut down. So that gave them room to play, the 3 Book of Moons and then also whatever trap cards.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could even play, I seen DD Crows instead of Drownings. People play Heat Wave. That's another card that's like Heat Wave in that deck is so dumb because if you go first and Heat Wave them, I know it's a one of, right? But if it happens,
And we've seen it happen in tournaments, definitely.
right, you are going to get destroyed because all your back row is going to get popped by the Rampage, and then they have like OTK so easily. So it's
Yeah.
like really, yeah, it's really annoying. And yeah, so it's one of a bunch of events so far this week, and I was just honestly shocked that it wasn't part of the tier list for the DLM tier list. I was
All
like,
right.
wow.
So you're saying it should be nerfed. What is a nerf that won't kill the deck, but still make it competitive?
What is a nerf that won't kill the deck but still make it competitive?
Yeah, you can still play the deck, but it's not
Mm,
super oppressive, but it doesn't send it to the Shadow Realm.
They could I mean, this kind of sounds a little bit crazy. They could put core to 3 so they don't have like they can play Mystical Space Typhoon, but I think Cosmic Cyclone in that deck is just insane
Because
because
the life point
the
thing,
life
right?
points,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay.
just way too strong in my opinion.
Anything else?
Anything else they could do? I mean,
Any
if you
other
don't want to hit
option?
the deck again, Cyber Style, I think it's just maybe only activated at when you take 3,000, but then it's like that's just gonna demolish the deck, right? So it's
A lot
like
of people say the fusion gate might be a bit too far. Would you hit that at all?
I don't think that's something they would hit. Maybe
No.
maybe like you can only attack with one fusion from Cyber Style, so you can't just make like because Fusion Gate and Cybernetic Fusion support is like insane.
It's like
If you want
5
to,
attacks or something in the end,
yeah.
right?
So like maybe have it to where it's like you can only attack with the first monster you fusion summon. I think that would be fine.
Okay. Yeah, because
But
it
then
seems
again, it's like some like that's the other thing. Where it's like some games, all they need is a Chimera Tech and they still beat you because that guy is swinging 3 times. So it's like,
right,
is
but then
that
you see
really
Cyber Dragons take on Fire Kings, and sometimes you need to attack 10 times in a row to
right?
win a
Right.
game. So
Right.
I don't know. I think everybody like hates going up against the deck, but I'm sure when you play it, it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it is so fun. I love playing the deck. It's really 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 powerful.
So I think in the end, maybe not a nerf, but just power creep. I'm always in favor of power creep over nerfing, but
I
you
don't know. Like I
you
feel
feel it
like
needs to be nerfed though, huh?
yes, I do feel like it needs definitely. I think for me, the number one things that need addressing is because here's the other thing. Like if other decks get nerfed, then they don't address Cyber Dragons. It just makes
Right.
them better.
Okay.
So what else? I think this is not related to the video, but Destiny Draw. I think it needs a huge change as well.
Just
Destiny
can't
Draw
let
and
that go, can you?
no, they really do need to change it. It's insane.
Save it for another video. That's another topic.
Yes.
That's another
Yes.
video. All right, you guys kind of already let us know what you think already with the poll, but if you have anything else that you wanted to add to the discussion, let us know in the comments below on this one, because this poll had like almost 4,000 votes. It's like 3,500 votes, and then there was like a ton of comments, like over 100 something comments on it. So a lot of people are already engaged on this, but of course we'd like to keep the discussion going. So let us know what you think in the comments below. But we're gonna get out of here. But you should get in the Discord because it's free. The tournaments are free. The new player help is free, and the discussions in our Gen Chat where things like this get discussed is also free. All right, we're gonna get out of here. I'm Circus. That's PDS.
See you later, guys.
And we'll see you next time.